Welcome to our 183th meeting of Toastbusters Club. We have a tradition. Tradition is to invite newcomers to the stage for a little introduction. So I see your name. Very briefly, yes, very briefly, your name, your occupation, why you are here, your expectation.
Okay, I'm Evgeny. I'm not working right now. And I had some experience with Toastmasters 8 years ago in Canada.
In Canada?
Yes. Nanaimo, it was Toastmasters on the hill. Okay, so basically that's it.
And your expectation about the club, why you're here?
I'm considering to move to China. And
that's why English is
yes, with English. Yes,
with English. Okay, very good.
English speaking first.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. Right, we have a very we have prepared agenda, and without delay, I would like to invite to the stage Toastmaster of the meeting, Ermek Taktagulov. Ermek, please come to the stage. The stage is yours, meeting is yours. Yes.
So today is June 26th. It is the International Day Against Drug Abuse. There are chemical causes of drug addiction. Drug addicts take drugs to experience pleasant feelings. This kind of sensation is artificially induced by chemical reactions in the brain. And normal people take light external stimulants like coffee. Caffeine can immediately improve your mood by stimulating dopamine, although it depletes serotonin over time. That causes you feel worse actually. Chemicals in our brain are produced all the time, even without consuming physical substances, due to events and situations. When somebody scares you, the brain releases adrenaline and cortisol. Cortisol is produced when you're in stress. The brain releases, for example, oxytocin during physical contact, such as hugging and touching. When this happens, your blood pressure lowers and you feel calm, safe, and trusting. So let's take an experience.
For hugging.
Now, do you feel calm?
Much better. Yes. What's the name of this drug?
Oxytocin.
Oxytocin. I feel oxytocin in my blood. Yes.
So, do you trust me? Do you trust me more now?
Yes, sir.
So when we listen to jokes and laugh, we get endorphin that helps us to relax and focus. When we are productive and reach some goal, we get dopamine that makes us feel motivated and joyful. There are other short-term stimulants of dopamine, such as when you get likes on your Facebook, when you watch interesting movie, or when you listen to some interesting motivational story. This is what we do in our Toastmaster Club meetings. We are addicts to some extent too, because the speaker gets his own little portion of adrenaline and dopamine, and the listeners, when they find something inspiring, also they get their portion of dopamine too. So let's start our meeting, and we will start with our timer. Daria Bor. Yes,
One second.
you find out about your role just
About 5
2
minutes
minutes
ago.
ago.
Yes.
You could just tell us a little bit about your role.
Of course.
But before that,
Yes.
spontaneous question.
Go for it.
Do you have some addictions? Maybe you feel addicted to some anything, TV serials or movies or
I am a bit addicted to Twitter. Yes, I follow a wide variety of very interesting people on Twitter, and the fact that I can see the conversations that they're having amongst each other, and like, oh, that person like that thing, that person's replying to that thing. This is a very interesting thought about something that I've never considered before. There's an article. It's just, it is a cesspool of horrible people, along with some real gems mixed in, and some really interesting things to read about. And I spend way too much time on there. And I think that's that little thing of like, ooh, there's another new thing. That's my addiction, very much. And now, to quickly explain the timer role, I will be timing all of the speeches and table topics for this evening, giving the speakers, evaluators, etc., a shot that this is your reaching your minimum time for the speeches. I believe it is 5 minutes. This is you reaching your middle time for the speeches. That is 6 minutes. This is your reaching your maximum time after 30 seconds. I believe you will no longer be qualified. So 7 minutes. For table topics, it is the same range from 1 to 2 minutes as from the green to the red. I believe that is all the information on the timer, correct?
Yes. Thank you then.
Thank you.
Don't forget to return with your report at the end.
Yeah. Yes, sure. We will listen to your report at the end of our meeting. Now, I'm inviting to the stage today's grammarian and wordmaster, Alla Ogana. Alla,
Shall I say a few words about addiction?
Yes, this is
Okay.
what I wanted to discuss.
So thank you for your email information. I could prepare a little bit to it. You see, you have mentioned some substances that are with us if we are addicted to something. I feel addicted to travels. From my young years, I'm traveling a lot, and during my travels, I get all these substances in my blood. And now it is just the case, because a week ago I returned from the Lake Baikal. And during my only 5 days trip, I got all substances you mentioned. So my appeal is travel as much as possible. Now, my duty today. I give you the papers with the word of the day. When it is an adjective, it is immense. When it is an adverb, it is immensely. So different meanings of this word are given in the paper. I think you will use it as many times as possible, and I hope you will enjoy our meeting immensely. It's my first part. The second part is a few words about my role as a grammarian. I'm not going to be very tough on you because it's raining outside, but still my polite notes, I hope, will improve your grammar a little bit. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now, let's start with our speeches. We have 2 projects today, and the first project will be delivered by Irina Chernyaga. Please take stage. Irina, could you tell us a couple words about
my
stimulant addictions?
My addiction is traveling, as Allah has, and to read sometimes. And I forgot about possibility to write down one word. You see this
You
word?
can use the word.
Use the green one.
Cockroach.
Green one. Green is better.
means tarakan. The name of my project is Unexpected Ideas. What can an unexpected idea be? Of course, it can be a global discovery which can change our life forever. Sometimes it is worthy of only jokes, and only a little part of them is used in practice. And my first story will be taken from the book by Bierovsky, Moscow and Muscovites. Before the revolution, there exists a very famous bakery by Filipov. This bakery supplied all the members of high society, including Governor General Zakrevsky. Everybody was afraid of him because of his bad character. Once Filipov was brought to him and he had to listen to accusation. Before Zakrevsky, with his pale face and shaking feet, because the end of this story had to be Siberia. You scoundrel, what do you feed us with? It was rolls with raisin. You're a liar. You don't bake such rolls. No, we have baked rolls with raisin recently, and with great pleasure on his face, Filipov ate a piece of a roll with fried cockroach. The story had a lucky end, and since that day, Muscovites have eaten rolls with raisin till now, and this rolls my favorite. The next stories are taken from the book Medic's Joke. Parfum created a remarkable medicine for curing kidneys, but this medicine influenced badly on eye vision. The film recommended this medicine for the blind. The next anecdote from the book, another film produced toothpaste, and it needed to increase its profit twice. They invited very expensive consultant, and he suggested them to increase twice the holes in tubes for toothpaste. This anecdote show different ways unexpected ideas in such interesting situations. And I can suggest my unexpected ideas successful in practice. If you was bitten by a bee or mosquito, you you must grease slightly with ammonia. With ammonia. In this case, the swell wouldn't form, and if the swell existed, in this case, it fell. So it is a very useful, unexpected idea. And from some words of a wise man, if you doff noodles from your ears, a stone from your soul, and fools from your neck, in this case you will be in order and the life will be fine. Of course, I consider only several examples of unexpected ideas, but I've heard that here would be a special meeting of our executive committee with brainstorm or brainstorm for producing some unexpected ideas. I wish you a great success in producing such ideas.
Thank you, Irina, for your speech. It was this project number 2 from Entertaining Speaker Manual. And you can write your feedback for Irina, if you'd like, on a piece of paper that was provided to you. The second speaker will be our future immediate president, Irina Suvorova. And the project is number 5.1, High Performance Leadership from Innovative Planning Paths. And the title of your speech, to make Toastbusters Club become the greatest. And if you'd like, could you tell us a couple of words about addictions? Do you have any addictions or not?
I'm addicted by sugar, sweets. But now I'm on diet. My doctor recommended me not to eat some sweets, so I train my patients now. Thank you. Lead, motivate, inspire. This is the motto of our Toastbusters Club, as I actually have known only 2 weeks ago, just after my election on the position of the club president. And I was not surprised that this motto is completely relevant to my scope of tasks in the High Performance Leadership Project. I have chosen this project as a part of my work in the executive committee for future several weeks. And this is a real immense challenge for me. New team, new working language, and another club traditions. I have determined the goal for this project as to make club the greatest. You could imagine that I meant some competition between other clubs in Moscow, but no, I meant only comparison the levels. I mean the high level of Toastbusters Club itself,
in the previous year and the next year. How to bring innovatives in one of the oldest clubs in Moscow guiding the rule. When in Roman, do as Romans do. How to find balance between strict rules implemented and kind, soft, sensitive and positive leadership style. I haven't any answers in my mind right now, but I hope that I will find solutions and answers in several weeks. And I have a plan how to perform my goals. My plan for future 10 weeks are following. To find a new location for meetings. Actually, it is already done, as you see. Now we are in the Nekrasov library and we will stay here for at least half a year. To increase the number of club mentions in social networks and emails at least twice. To increase the number of members. At least on 50%. To decrease the paper consumption at least on 50%, but I think it will be twice by using Google Forms and electronic gadgets. And to find specific club feature, to find our market niche among other Moscow area clubs, to show that we are specific, or business club, or most friendly club, or someone else. And my extra personal achievement to learn how to stay still relaxed, calm and positive and still be a high effective leader. Because I could be very strict and even angry during my work, and when I work with serious men in automotive production, it's appropriate for them. But here in Toastmasters, I sometimes forget that we are all volunteers and we do our best in order to become better speakers and leaders, and we are using our free time for that. How do I plan to achieve my goals? By continuous communication with you, my friends, active members of the Toastbusters Club, of course, executive committee of our club and other clubs in Moscow area, and with foreign clubs, of course. Special meetings, special events, cross clubs PR together with other English-speaking clubs. And I have some new ideas, but I can't share with you with all my secrets right now. And I'm glad to announce you that I have already started to implement my project. I have arranged the first meeting with my team, my executive committee, just tonight, and we have agenda with all open questions. What else? Will I achieve all my goals or not? Only time will tell. Anyway, I will present to you my report after several weeks. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I kindly ask you for support. Visit all club meetings, take the roles, and inform us about your opinion, your emotions, your feelings. When you will see some news, innovatives, some new ideas, we need continuous feedback. Actually, this is the basement of the Toastmaster system, feedback. We are all open. Here you can see our contacts. You can contact with me or other member of the executive committee anytime. Let's develop the club together. Thank you.
Thank you, Irina. I'm sure that the club will be very popular with such a president as Irina, and the room will be overcrowded. I'm 100% sure with this. So, if you want to write a feedback to Irina, please feel free to write on a piece of paper that was given to you. And actually, we are having a break right now, so. So it's about 10 minutes, and please feel free to take drinks and snacks. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Today's meeting is quite cozy. We don't have a lot of people. It's raining outside. I think it feels great for me personally. So let's proceed with the table topics session, and the table topics master is Mike Gordeev. Mike, could you please tell us about addictions maybe you have or you know?
We will have a lot of questions about addiction tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm the only one who won't participate in it. So my main good addiction as I consider it, is planning. I'm addicted to planning everything. And if it goes to the plan, I feel calm, relaxed, and enjoy everything what's going on. And if it's not going according to the plan, that makes me nervous. And that brings both sides of addictions, good and bad, in one for me. And now we shall proceed with the table topic session. And it's an immensely important part of the meeting because everyone can participate in it. Yes, newcomers are always welcome. So, we will have an improvised speeches which will take from 1 to 2 minutes. I will ask you a question, or rather you will choose a question to talk about for 1 minute at least and 2 minutes at most. So about the cozy meeting, most of you will have opportunity to join this session. At the end, you have the ballots to vote. Small things. Where are these? Yeah, best table topic speaker. You will choose the best, and he will get some sweet prize. Yeah, and a ribbon. 2 in 1. So make your best out of it and participate. Of course, today's table topic session will be devoted to addictions. I have total of 18 questions. So I believe we have time for 9 participants. I will write down your names on the board. So when you're coming out, please name yourself and choose a question from this pocket or envelope. You have 30 seconds to prepare, or you can just start up front. And that are all the rules. I would give you one more opportunity to change the rules. You can choose another question if you don't like one. So, who will be the first one to show how it goes? If no one, newcomers are always welcome. First are usually a bliss.
Because they don't know what is it.
Read it loudly and then you have time to speak about it.
So my name is Evgeny again, and the question is, what addiction, in your opinion, could make a person great?
Okay.
So addictions, it's a common part of our life, and everybody have one or several, and as I don't remember the name. Ermek started his speech about some kind of function of our bodies, where we have some kind of liquid poisons, or I don't know what is it. It makes our organs make it to as a result of some action or like our pessimism. So So what addiction could make people great? So first we should choose the goal, or choose like the system of coordinates, like what it does the great means to the person, and what the person is trying to achieve. And to my mind, great is to grow love in the world, and every person should start it with love to himself or herself. In my case, it's himself. So I think the addiction to just accept yourself and to find ways to see some things, maybe strange things about yourself, and to love your as a whole, as a person, as a part of the world, and then you will just increase the global level of love.
Thank you, Evgeny. Thanks, Margarita. And of course, love is an addiction. And we have a volunteer. Choose your destiny. You can change it once. We have 20.
If you must choose an addiction to have, what would it be? 30 seconds to think about.
Time is granted.
It's a difficult question. Very difficult. Addiction. I don't have much addiction, I think. Many addictions. And to choose one.
Choose anything. Alcohol, drugs.
Who would choose it?
What's your dream? Start from this point.
I wouldn't think it would be so difficult. You know, Ermek mentioned that hugs make good for people. So they rise some endorphins and other good hormones for people. And I would love to have this addiction for hugs, but I already have it. So there was a story. I once, it happened a couple of weeks ago. I was coming out of the metro station and saw two girls, two girls about 13 of age, very shy and very modest. They looked very like good girls, and they were holding a piece of paper saying "hug me." Have you ever met such people?
Yes.
Yes, maybe. I've never, but they looked so sad because nobody came to them and hugged them. So when I asked them, would you like a hug? They said, yes, please. And I hugged them and asked their names and tell my name. And you know, this incident, this moment brought a lot of happiness to three of us. There were two girls. So, hug addictions is a good addiction. Can I hug you?
Of course. Oh.
Not to be done.
eligible to come to the stage, I will wish the time for you
Would you like
if you
to?
want to.
Okay. Willing to. Voila. Can I just repeat my press one?
And here comes your question.
Any opportunity to speak?
And you can choose another one, just in case.
I'm gonna choose another one because I cannot think of a non-stereotypical answer.
Oh, this was a good one. Pretty hard.
Someone else should have it. Can I rewrite it? What addiction you currently have you like the least? Basically, what addictions I currently have that I dislike?
Yeah.
The biggest one that I can think of at this moment is naturally the addiction to, as I mentioned earlier, Twitter. That endless scrolling of information is an endless scrolling of nothing in the end. Because every article that I read and every little interaction that I follow ultimately doesn't stay for very long. That although in the moment I am so engrossed by the tale of these digital scholars talking about how they met this person at this conference and talking about this new tool, and I'm thinking, wow, the potential of this in the field of academia is so fascinating. And then I log off and I completely forget about it. And I think about this constantly because the amount of information that we consume, there is a sense of dopamine within it, that every single new burst, every single like, every single conversation that we have is ultimately kind of useless because what do we remember of it? Like seriously, there are so many moments of our time where like we're searching for that endless little bit of something, but in the end, it is ultimately empty. And when I think about that addiction of mine of wanting to constantly refresh Twitter, I left the house today 2 hours later than what I wanted to. That's 2 hours of my life that I could have spent walking around Moscow. I'm not here that often. Instead, I spent it on Twitter. And I was angry at myself those whole 2 hours. 2 whole hours! I could have slept that for that time. I could have been even more beautiful. Like, what a waste! Instead, I'm not exactly even sure what I read. And when you think about the value of our addictions and the value of like that little burst of like dopamine and the value of our actual time, it's very easy to think of what is more valuable, and that is the time that we could be spending on much more fruitful actual pursuits. Let's try to make our addictions have less of an impact on that time.
Next one is a good one. I would like Nikolai to join me on the stage, and I will ask him the question I really want to hear about his personal opinion. So Nikolai, what would you consider the most terrible addiction of people in our current environment? If you look on the whole humanity, what is the most terrible addiction you could think of, or in your opinion, what is it?
So I don't need to
No.
select any paper. I'm an IT person. I work for information technology. But I think with a lot of good things which coming together with the technology, lots of dangerous things coming as well. And I think the digital environment, your question about what's environmentally is the most dangerous nowadays for people. I think digital world is dangerous for people because it's not natural, it is artificial. And our body, our design is not quite ready to live within the digital world. As Daria just mentioned, she can spend 2 hours or more just through because it is too nice, too colorful for our brain. It is too easy to follow these things, and the problem with the digital world is it is so attractive, but quite often it is empty. And that's a main problem I think nowadays we have. So I'm IT person, but I think IT brings lots of dangerous things as well to our world. That's my thought.
And we have time for one or two more. There are yes, so we have Ermac and Nova, and we will have three of the questions answered.
What is your most embarrassing addiction? What is embarrassing?
Embarrassing means
I haven't embarrassing addictions. I'm addicted to traveling, addicted to sweets. Sometimes I addicted to men. It's embarrassing already.
yes, could be.
Could be, because now it's some society that okay. Prohibited subject in Toastmasters. The most embarrassing. Several years ago I was shopaholic. Shopaholic, yes. Maybe it is embarrassing. I was addicted by sales, unbelievable discounts, etc., etc. And when I have bought something from China with discount price, but still very high price for this quality of the thing, I was ashamed and embarrassed by my addiction and by my dependence from the marketing managers of the big trading companies. So I think it's the most. And now I don't like any shops at all. And I ordered everything in the internet and strictly recommend you to do the same. Thank you.
Alla, please come to the stage. I believe it will be an easier question.
2 days ago, I had a guest at my place, and we were discussing different things, and I understood that she was addicted to discussion of rather strange points of our life. For example, linked with some governmental things, with some phenomena of our life, the problems that never touched me at all. So it seems that it was her strangest addiction. That's how it is.
And I believe our last participant, Ermac, please. You can choose out of three. Take two, choose one.
Okay, no problem. What would you consider the perfect addiction for your spouse? Perfect addiction.
Dishwashing, maybe.
Yeah, I would say that I like that my wife cooks well and she likes it. Also, she is workaholic a little bit. She is addicted to some, to reaching some goals. When she set a goal, she can do it day and night until she can reach this goal. That's what I can say. But I'm the laziest part of the family, so we have a balance. I mean, I always tell her, stop working, take a rest. You shouldn't be that addicted to work. That's a great thing that spouses should balance each other and should make the whole one, so nothing can go off balance or some other extreme situation. That's all.
Thank you. Guys, thanks for this marvelous and immensely personal table topic session. I found out many hidden things about you. Maybe it was even the first one which so immensely opened your souls to public. Anyways, you all should have a ballot to vote for the best one. Who will get the chocolate and the ribbon? Remember the chocolate. That's why we are here.
Pass.
You are not eligible to win because you are sugar addict. And pass it to Margarita, please.
Full house.
Okay, Mike, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your very interesting table topic session. And now we proceed with the evaluation part of our meeting. And the general evaluator is Anna Irina.
Hello everyone. It's very strange that there are only 11 of us, so I think the most of the members and guests are on vacation now. So in these very, I think, comfortable circumstances, we'll continue our meeting, and I will introduce you personal evaluators of our two speakers. The first one is Adil Tashenov, and he will evaluate Irina Chernyaga's speech.
Well, Toastmasters, dear guests, dear Irina. First of all, thank you for your speech. As everybody knows, Irina quite experienced, maybe one of the most experienced member of our club, and I think she already knows all the advantages and disadvantages of your speech, but I try to mention some best part of your speech and maybe try to find some areas for improvement. First of all, beforehand, I want to say a couple of words about Irina's unique performance style. Due to Irina's rich life experience and beautiful sense of humor, all of Irina's projects usually a mix of her life experience, some bright moments, and I think this is a core pillar of your successful and interesting projects in the past. And this very project is not the same. I think also has some beautiful, bright moments from her life experience and good points of like words of wisdoms and let's move to the best part of Irina's speeches. First of all, I think it was good constructed content with a mix of Irina's life experience and other interesting materials like Gilirovsky with his Moscow and Moscovians. Moscovians. This is, I think, good choice because Gilirovsky quite a honorable person in Moscow especially. The second very beautiful conclusion with priceless words of wisdoms and final Georgian style toast. I think it was very good conclusion of your speech. And some simple areas for improvement. First of all, I think you have to speak a little bit up because I was sitting at the back of the audience and I had some troubles with hearing you. The second, you need to improve a little bit your eye contact because during your speech, sometimes you close your eyes and lose your contact with the audience. And I think you didn't move enough. You just stay in one point without any gestures. And I think next time you need to be a little bit relaxed and move on the stage. All in all, congratulations with your project, and we are looking forward to the next speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Adil. My short comments on your evaluation. I was glad that you mentioned that Irina is a very experienced speaker, and you have found a lot of points to praise her on the message and also on the delivery. So the next evaluator is Nikolai Denisenko, and he will take some tell us some things about Irina's speech, Irina Suvorov's speech.
Right, dear Toastmasters guests, dear Irina. Right, you had a very special project, because project is about planning and prepare a great plan and show with the audience of how you are going to deliver. So my feedback, my evaluation will have two parts. One is delivery part, and second one is content. In terms of delivery, I see good points for smiling. I see you have good gestures at the stage. You moved. You used visual aids. That's really good. I like it. Though for making a speech for inspiring, I think one of the purpose is to share the plan and inspire people with your plan. It's better to have more in terms of voice variety, to have a bit wider range of voice differences, because it's more or less monotonic. That's what I noticed. The other one, the gestures, a little bit at this level, but if you are going to motivate, inspire people, it should be, more open gestures. That's in terms of delivery. In terms of the content, I do like your clear goals. You had a very specific goals on the screen. You mentioned them. I like it. You had a request for audience to help you. You had a clear context of how people can help you. That's also very good. I like it. Though the point for improvement in terms of the content, for motivating people, you need to explain why it is important, why those goals are so important for us. You just mentioned them, but is it a real problem for our club? Those goals, do we have? So there's no drama. So it's better to add drama into your speech, especially because you had only 5 minutes 15 seconds. You had 1 minute more to talk, to explain a bit more about your plan and why it is so good. And then people follow you. Then they will use contacts you just shared. So that's would be my suggestion to explain why your plan is good. So that's my feedback. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nikolai. I like that you mentioned the content of Irina's speech and ask the questions why these goals are important. And for Irina, thank you very much for your plan that you shared it with us at the beginning. It's such a pity that there were a few people who could see this plan of the members of the club. So I think you will share it on social media, and everyone will learn that we are going to be the best club in Moscow area. Do you agree?
Yes. Yes.
Well, so as our experts for today, I'm going to invite our grammarian with her report, Alla Aganova.
First of all, I would like to congratulate Mike Abdiev because he used my word of the day twice. And now my second part, grammar. So, as I promised you, I'm not going to be very tough on you, and in general, I think the general level of usage of grammar was just up to the mark. But still there are some notes. As to mispronunciation, it should be motto, no, nothing else. It should be at, not something else. It should be meant, not something else. Wrong word order. Somebody said about the girls of 13 age. It's wrong. You should say at the age of 13. Then this medicine influenced eye vision badly. The place of badly should be before eye vision and not something else. Wrong use of prepositions. We are fighting for the membership increase by 50%. We are addicted to something. We are ashamed with something. And our common mistake in the usage of articles, especially in sustainable expressions. 2 minutes as the most, not something else. And choice of words. It's not the name of the project, it's the title of the project. And it's better to say, do your best, and not make the best. So here are my slight impressions.
Thank you, Alla, for correcting us. And before I will invite to the stage our timer, I would like to tell a few words to our Toastmaster of the day and our Table Topics Master. Ermek, thank you very much for the theme of our meeting. I don't know whose idea it was, but you made a very interesting introductory speech, and I liked that it was also interactive. You hugged Nikolai and showed us that it works. Thank you. As for table topic session, the questions were very interesting, and they encouraged us to speak our personal stories. The one detail, I would recommend you not to roll the pieces of paper. It takes time to unroll them, and maybe make the shift a little bit larger, the letters larger,
Yes.
to make them read for someone to.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
The letters were too small.
And I invite to the stage our timer. Daria.
Thank you. Today's meeting went hopefully without a hitch. My only note is that I have only done this role once before. I'm usually at the front of the stage, not behind. So my apologies to Irina. I actually missed the first couple minutes of yours in terms of the timing, so I'm pretty sure that it's somewhere between 7 and 8 minutes. I just don't know when. So I'm not exactly sure how to count that for the cutoff for voting or not. I'll leave that up to the leadership. Otherwise, Irina Sawarova, 5 minutes, 15 seconds, qualified. For the table topics, everyone qualifies underneath 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Both the evaluators ended up at 3:22 and 3 minutes, so both of them qualify for the voting as well. Any specifics wanted, or all good? Fantastic. In that case, I'll sit back down.
Thank you, Daria. Okay. Before I leave the stage to our president, I insist on your filling these forms, this for club members, to evaluate our meeting. So, and pass them to Margarita. Well, Nikolai.
If we don't have it, we have then.
Does it?
Distribute.
Okay. So, Nikolai, I think it's your turn
Yes.
to close the meeting.
Yeah, thank you very much for evaluation part of our meeting, and now we are coming to the end of the meeting. Today meeting flies very fast. Actually, we have it's first time when we finish at the 8:55. That's maybe because we had only 2 speeches, and next time, by the way, we have I think we have in our plan 4 speeches next time, so it's going to be interesting meeting. For tonight, we have a few things. Number 1 is a contest. I think you'd like to know who is the winner of table topic. Yes?
Yay.
Yes. The table topic winner will have this chocolate bar. Right, Michael?
It's not funny, it's a real chocolate bar.
Yes.
Like
45%.
it's not a joke.
It's not a joke, yes. So, best table topic speaker for tonight is, Daria, please come to the stage. Yes, this is your ribbon.
Thank you.
My congratulations.
Accepted.
There is
Oh,
a
no, no, no.
chocolate.
Your
Most
chocolate.
important thing.
Yeah.
Now I can take a picture. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Daria, for your speech. Right, the other one, recently within the club, we had a very few good achievements. Actually, within the Toastmasters International, our club is coming to the President Distinguished Club. We reached 8 education goals, and one of them is for ERMEC, for reaching level 1 for pathways. ERMEC, my congratulations. This is your ribbon, your achievement, and your part for our President Distinguished Club goal. Yes. Thank you, ERMEC.
And now, don't leave the stage.
Yes.
Let's congratulate Nikolai for getting CL award, as well as the level
Level 2.
level 2.
Yes.
So you succeeded in achieving two ribbons today. So
Excellent.
let's congratulate you.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Vice President of Education. Yes, this is our part for reaching the President Distinguished Club Award. Yes. Thank you, Nick. Right. Tonight is the last meeting of our current executive committee of the club, and me as a president. And starting next meeting, new executive committee will run the show, and Irina will take the stage and open and close the meetings as a new president of the club. And I wish a new committee a great success to reach the goals as you mentioned, and to make our club the best club in Moscow area. Yes, I wish the new committee and the club good luck. Really, yes.
Who will be a secretary?
Secretary, Ermek is secretary. That was communicated in the Facebook. Actually, we had a post about. I mean the whole committee. The committee is Ermek is secretary. Vice president of membership is education. Yes, education is Margarita Berseneva. Adil Tashenov is vice president of membership, and vice president of public relations Alengina.
And the president?
And the president, of course, Irina Suvorova. Yes. Before closing the meeting, I'd like to mention that we have this money box. A donation for the meeting is 100 ruble. If you have problems with the cash, then please submit it via Sberbank. It is also possible for Adil Tashenov's phone number, if that's also possible. Right. With that, I think the meeting is over, and I'm looking forward to see you again in a couple of weeks' time in this place. I think this place is really comfortable. I like this place. It is cozy, dopamine. It is atmosphere which generates dopamine, I think. Thank you very much. With that, I think we can close the meeting. Thank you.